Good morning, everyone. And today I'm joined by John Monahan, who serves as our Senior Advisor for Global Health and who, working with Dr. Ed Healton, the Executive Vice President of our Medical Center, and Professor Tom Banchoff, our Vice President of Global Engagement, leads our university-wide Global Health Initiative. So John, it's wonderful to have you back at Georgetown again and to see how our work in global health has really taken on new and important dimensions in recent years. And I'm so grateful to you for your work. So to begin, would you share with everyone a little bit about your background? Can you talk about what brought you to global health and what it's meant to return to Georgetown to do this work?
Well, Jack, it's an honor to be with you. And as you know, actually my experience of going to global health was a bit of an accident. Most of my career after I left Georgetown as an undergrad and then law school was I worked in campaigns, and I spent a lot of time working on domestic policy, Medicaid, welfare reform, housing for low-income populations. And then about 10 or 11 years ago, after I had the chance to lead the O'Neill Institute, I went into the Obama administration, where I was the counselor to the Secretary of Health and Human Services. And much to our surprise, less than 90 days into a new administration, a global pandemic emerged, the H1N1 pandemic. We didn't have a leader for our global health office, which managed the US government's relationship with the World Health Organization. So I got a crash course in pandemics and the US government's role, because I ended up leading that office during the pandemic and during the process that we eventually worked on with the WHO to get vaccines that we would share with low and middle income countries. So I did the diplomacy with the WHO and with the and with other countries for the response, and it was so that was my crash course, and then I had the privilege afterward to go to the U.S. Department of State, and in that role I represented the U.S. on the board of an organization called the Global Fund to fight AIDS, TB, and malaria, which is the largest public-private partnership that provides about $4 billion a year of funding to low and middle income countries. So I really had a late-in career but fascinating opportunity to go into global health. And it's just really exciting to have been back now at Georgetown for almost 5 years.
Yeah, no, we're grateful. We're grateful every day to have you back, John.
Thanks, Jack.
And as you mentioned, you helped to create our O'Neill Institute for National and Global Health Law as our founding executive director. And you also have appointments at our McCourt School, our law school, and you've been instrumental in advancing the work of our university's Global Health Initiative. Can you talk a little bit about the initiative, its goals and ambitions, its accomplishments over the course of these past few years?
Oh, Jack, I'm delighted. Well, I think, it really started with you. You helped set us off about 3.5 years ago with a charge, I think, to do 3 big things. And I'm happy to report, I think we've had success in all 3 areas. The first was to build community. One of the richest parts of Georgetown is that we have a diverse group of people working on health, from our science labs to our law school. But what often happens in universities is we don't have that glue that ties all of our experts together, doesn't give them a chance to collaborate. So we have a whole set of things that are aimed to bring people together. We have a really robust faculty committee. We've got a terrific seed grant program to bring faculty working across different lines together. We have a terrific fellows program for students. Just this semester, Jack, we had 95 applicants for 10 Global Health Initiative fellow slots. And then we also do some big events where we try to bring people together. So just this summer, we had a Zoom interview with Dr. Anthony Fauci. We've had the head of the WHO come and speak at Gaston Hall. We had sadly, a couple of years ago, we recognized the centenary of the 1918 flu with an event on campus looking at our own campus's history in that tragic event. Sadly, it's all too true. So with community, the second part is we really welcomed new faculty to our team. We have Dr. Mark Dybel joined us after leading the Global Fund. Dr. Deus Bezira and a whole group came from the University of Maryland just last year, and they have launched programs in sub-Saharan Africa at Georgetown. We have Jesse Goodman, the former chief scientist at the Food and Drug Administration, Dr. Rebecca Katz, who leads our really path-breaking Global Health Science and Security Center. All these new faculty have met with some of our, with people we've had here for many years. So it's really a rich community. And then I'd say the final point, Jack, is we try to use that community and the relationships to build new programs. And so just this year, just in the COVID crisis, for example, the law school spearheaded a university-wide effort to collect laws related to COVID-19 from 190 countries around the world. So we're trying to track public policies in real time. So that's what we're doing at the initiative, and it's really been an exciting time to see what Georgetown is doing and can do in this space.
Now, we're grateful to have so many extraordinary faculty who are providing crucial insights to our understanding of this moment. Can you share a little bit more about the expertise of our faculty and how they have contributed to our understanding of COVID-19?
Well, Jack, it's been really exciting to see what Georgetown has done. Take one example, Larry Gostin, who is our university professor at the law school, has been writing extensively about the role of international law and international instruments in helping us think through how the global community responds, or sadly in this case has failed to respond to this crisis. He also has been writing about the legal responses we've had in the United States. I think by any measure, the United States response has been a failure, both at the national level and in many cases at the state level. And Larry's done terrific work at pointing out where we have not lived up to our potential. By the same token, Dr. Rebecca Katz, who I mentioned earlier, she has put together an amazing array of advice targeted toward local decision makers in the United States and around the world, helping mayors, city council members, business leaders. How do you make tough decisions in the midst of a pandemic? So she's put together an extraordinary set of tools that are really practical things that people in the real world can use. And we have some of our scientists are working on we have people working on early stage testing and treatment programs in our medical center. We have some terrific modeling going on. Some of our computer modeling experts and data analytics experts are looking at how pandemics like COVID-19 are spreading. How do we track data? So anyway, across Georgetown, there's just a rich mix of faculty experts working and trying to make a difference and helping the world, frankly, address this crisis.
Yeah. Now, the initiative you mentioned a moment ago, some of our summer, you hosted some terrific virtual event with the initiative and the Institute of Politics and Public Service at our McCourt School of Public Policy. You and GU Politics Director Mo Alathi moderated the conversation with Dr. Fauci. We had an extraordinary number of people in our community join you to watch. What is it like to engage with our community together in such a dialogue?
Well, Jack, it really was thrilling. I mean, we had 3,000 people with Georgetown email addresses on the Zoom call alone. We probably had another 50 or 100,000 people listening on social media. So I thought, though, Dr. Fauci is just a gift to our country, just a treasure, because I think he shows that science and reason are things that people want to believe in. And I thought what was the most exciting part was to watch our students engage with him. I think Mo and I did a good job of teeing it up, but there was nothing like watching young people ask really good questions. And it made me feel good about the kinds of students we have at Georgetown. They ask important questions, as you'd expect of a scientist, but they also ask the moral and ethical questions. What's the right thing to do? What should we as individual students do, but also what should we as a country do? So it was really exciting.
Yeah. Now you're teaching this fall global health law at the law school at our law center.
Yep.
What's it like teaching this semester? Tell us a little bit about your experience and how our students are responding to this moment.
Well, I think the students have been responding in an amazing way. We have students in probably, I have a class of almost 20, and we have students from 8 different countries, and they probably sit in at least 6 different time zones. But they are so engaged at this moment. And, as I said to them on the first day of class, I never dreamed that I would be teaching global health law in the middle of a global pandemic. But we have a chance to look in real time at the questions that I think are really important. Do we have international legal instruments? Do we have international institutions that are up to the challenge of a global crisis like this? I think sadly the answer is we don't have what we need. But, it's exciting to work with lawyers around the world, because these are hopefully going to be the leaders in their own countries as we think ahead about how to make a difference. So.
Yeah. Well, John, I can't thank you enough for everything you do for our community and for joining us this morning for this conversation. Is there one last word you'd like to share with our community at the start of this fall?
I think that that Georgetown can make a difference. I would really urge our faculty and our students to be engaged, whether it's in your community or it's advocating for better public policy or voting, frankly. There's a chance for you to make your voice heard. This is an important time for our country and our world, and I think we need to be involved. So. Well,
John, thank you so much for sharing your insights today and for all the work that you've done to strengthen our global health efforts here at Georgetown. And I look forward to being with all of you again soon. Take care of yourselves and take care of everyone around you. For every Hoya, everywhere.